Today we're privileged to host on our show the Kakamega speaker James Namatsi. He has served for 3 terms and we want to know what has transpired within the 3 years that he's been in office. I mean the state of the county as we speak right now. Karibu sana mkubwa.
Asante sana.
Who is the Kakamega speaker James Namatsi?
James Namatsi is the Speaker of Kakamega County Assembly. He is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya with over 20 years experience. He is also a certified public secretary who is also a practicing certified public secretary, that is CPS Kenya. And he's a leader. He was bred in a place called Luche, where he learned through Luche Primary School, came to Kakamega High School, and advanced to the University of Nairobi, where he obtained his LLB before going to the Kenya School of Law.
Mm-hmm. I believe you've served as LSK chair at some point. Maybe if you can briefly tell us about that.
Yes, I served as the LSK chair Kakamega, and also at the national level, I was a member of the CPD committee for the national wide, where we are training advocates all over on their continuous improvement, so that they don't just sleep and say we have advocates, but they continue learning so that they are updated with the current laws and the current trends of laws in the country.
For the 3 years that you have been the Kakamega speaker, maybe if you paint a picture, what is the state of the county as you speak?
Kakamega Assembly is very, very vibrant. Currently, everything is going on very well. Legislation is robust. Mm-hmm. Oversight of the county executive is tip-top. And the representation of the people from the mashinani up to here is very well, as it's being done very well by our members.
Maybe before we go to the the details of the bills and all that, as at now, probably what would you say is the key milestone the county has had under your leadership?
We have had several milestones, starting with our key mandate, which is legislation. Since we came in this office, Kakamega County Assembly has passed over 12 laws touching on various issues, including health, leadership, environment, and human rights of the people of Kakamega. We have also done several oversights with the executive, ranging from all the aspects of the executive. In fact, we have over 150 reports, which we have, which actually, those are reports which are emanating from the oversight work that has been done by the assembly on the executive and how they are performing their roles as the executive.
Any specifics, like with the reports that you feel like probably under your leadership you're able to, go through and it's actually changing lives of Kenyans or Kakamega residents?
On the reports that we have done, we have several. For example, on the One Cow initiative, that's in agriculture. Early childhood development, that's on ECDs across the county. Kakamega Smart Farms, that's another very key milestone that we have passed here at the assembly. Kakamega Shelter Improvement Program is another one. We have various audit reports and examination of the Auditor General on financial matters of the county executive and the county assembly. That has also been passed through us as as the assembly. We have also had reports such as the status and operationalization of Kakamega municipality and Mumias municipality. We have also had reports which actually led to the upgrade of the three municipalities, that is Matunda, Malava, and Butere. All those reports have passed through us, and that's where we actually are. You can see that. We have also had the other key reports, like the budget reports, which we do every year. We have the county integrated development plan for the 5 years, where the county is doing various projects. They have actually to come here for us to approve. We have the annual development plans, like what is actually going on today. We have the ADP that is being worked on today. We have several supplementary budgets, and those are necessary for the running of the county, and they have all gone through this place. We also have vetting. You see, as an assembly, we are supposed to oversight the executive, and one of the oversight role is through vetting of nominees. Any nominee who has been proposed for appointments by the governor at the executive or the county public service board ought to come here, ought to pass through this process at the assembly, so that we are able to vet him to confirm his suitability or otherwise. If he's not suitable, we'll throw him out. If it is suitable, I find him suitable, we actually approve and we say this is fit for appointment, and therefore the governor will be able to appoint him or her on the next role. This also applies to discipline cases, where, for example, the County Public Service Board is not performing its role. It will come, if a petition is presented to us, like it was in one of the occasions, it comes here and we look at it. And if it's merited, we'll proceed to ensure that the same is heard, and we find the merits of it. We find that these people are not supposed to serve, we'll tell them not to continue serving, and that will go a long way to ensure that they are removed in their offices. So we have done that, and for these past 3 years, we've quite done a lot. There are also other issues like the bills.
Maybe we'll come later to the bills,
Yes.
just to understand the bills that you as assembly have passed.
Correct.
And how important they are to Kakamega residents, and so far those that have been implemented and they're helping the residents. But before that, Kakamega County Assembly, they have said that the assembly is going to bed with the executive. From your end as the speaker, how do you rate, the county assembly, the effectiveness in providing oversight?
The county assembly is very firm and focused on its mandate. We have a good relationship with the executive, and collaboration does not mean we are lacking oversight. You see, for institutions to be to work, we need to work together. Both the assembly and the executive have to work together. And where accountability demands, we have always demanded accountability. And where the executive has done well, we have passed that and said, this is well, continue like that. And that's how it is. So leadership is not about intimidation and making noise, but it's about strong institutions. and clear laws and courageous leadership like the ones we have. That's what actually amounts to good leadership. So for those who are saying that, they may not know, but we are very good and we are doing everything that we have.
You were talking about the bills, and I'm so much interested to know, for that period of time that you've been in the office, how many bills have you passed as a county assembly, and maybe which one really stood out for you and you feel like this is actually impactful to the residents of Kakamega?
Yes, we have had, as I've said, about so far 12 laws that have been passed in this assembly. And there is, if you look at the Kakamega County Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Control Management Act of 2024, that is a very good bill, which actually ensures that the rights of the gender is well taken care of, because we found that there are several gaps in the national law which were not addressed. But however, at Kakamega, we have taken care of that and ensured that it is actually very well taken care of. If you look at the County Evaluation and Rating Act, we found that the last time the Evaluation and Rating Act was ever passed here was in 1959. That is the one that was applying to Kakamega until now. You can imagine, before independence. That was not a very good state of affairs. And we passed that act here last year. And with that, we are able to...
maybe what is the difference between now the older one and the current one?
You see, the current one used to take care of, it was actually colonial in nature, and it was not taking care of current needs of the people of Kakamega. However, if you look at the one that we have done, it's very pragmatic and forward-looking. The old law used to even tax schools, hospitals, and other charitable organizations. After we came and looked at that law, we passed our Kakamega County Evaluation for Rating Act of 2024. This one excluded those areas. Previously, the act also used to deal with the other rural lands. We have restricted that to only urban areas which are under leasehold, so that it's not targeting the poor person at the grassroots. We are targeting the affluents, those who have property in Kakamega and other municipalities, and not the villages down there where the mamas and mambogas can continue with their normal life. So those are some of the laws that we have made, and that are quite progressive. We also have the Kakamega County Infrastructure Development and Financing Act. This is another good one, because we seek to look at counties all over Kenya have a problem with funding. They rely so much on the exchequer. However, under this law, it's very progressive, and it tells us that we are able to get funding from, especially for infrastructure, from other sources. Not necessarily, you don't have to wait for the exchequer, which is limited, for you to be able to make your way forward.
Okay.
We also have like the Bukura Agricultural Training Center Act, which was not, which had not been actualized. It's now actualized. Now the Kakamega Agricultural Training Center is now an institution which is anchored in law. For a long time, it was not anchored in law, but under my leadership, it has now been anchored, and it's now a legal entity. So we have had several laws, and actually it's for the progress of the people of Kakamega.
I do a lot of stories about women and children, and I'm so much interested with these, the gender that you've talked about, the bill that you passed. How is it important to a resident? How is it helping residents? What are the things that you've touched on in the bill that will really, help the residents? And what was the need of coming up with it?
Something very funny is that it's also talking about the children and the women. Ours was expanded so that we are also including the men.
Yeah.
Remember, many men are being brutalized in their houses. But because they are a man, and we are told as a man, you should not cry. You should not be seen to be weak. If you come and complain that you have been harassed by your wife, it will sound that you are not a man. And that is how we grew up. We found that there were so many men suffering in silence, and they were not their rights were not being taken care of. Right now in Kakamega, if you are a man and you find that you are being oppressed, come up. There's a law which will protect you, and it will be right action will be taken against whoever is oppressing you, whether it is your wife or girlfriend or whoever it is. That is well taken care of in our act, which is the Kakamega County Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Control Management Act of 2024. We do a lot of civic education first and public participation. You find that most of the original bill as they were drawn, we end up having most of the sections completely different. Why? Because we get the input of wananchi. The people of Kakamega are involved. They come and give their views, both on social media, on email, and publicly when we have the public barazas where we actually invite them and they give their views. So most of the laws have not been controversial. Remember, even for example, the Finance Act of 2025, it was passed, and actually it was lauded as one of the best because it actually sought to lessen the burden of the mwananchi of Kakamega, so that where most of the taxes were lowered and some were completely removed, so that whatever is actually being charged has been agreed upon by the people of Kakamega. So you'll find most of our laws will not be controversial. And the reason why that has happened is that we have very strong institutions whereby people are robustly involved and they are able to give their views as we go on until we ensure that at the time it comes to the final stages, all aspects have been looked at, and where something was thorny, it has been brushed so that it's not thorny at all, that it's widely accepted.
Okay. Throughout the process of coming up with a bill and then passing it into law, there's a whole lot of stages. Do you have bills that have stalled? And maybe what would be the reason as to why?
In fact, I'm happy to announce to you that in Kakamega, our process is so robust and so thorough that no bill has stalled.
Okay.
The last that we have actually done is this one of Bukura Agricultural Training Center Act. And all the bills that have come here, either from the executive or through private treaty, they have all been passed. And as we speak, as we go for our Christmas, we are not leaving anything on the table. We have done what is expected of us. As you can see, we are working up to very late into the Christmas. That's why, to ensure that we clear everything that was on our entry. And it's 24th, but we are on duty just on the eve of Christmas to ensure that we don't leave anything. So as we speak, all the bills that came have been that came before us have undergone all the processes, and they have been dealt with. You remember, Violet, when bill starts and then you are not able to finish the process, however late, in the however advanced it is in the stages of passing the laws, that bill, when you come next year, you'll have to start afresh. So, and that we know what that will mean. You have wasted a lot of resource in terms of time, human resource, and capital. So we will not like such a thing to happen. So whatever comes, it's processed. It is thoroughly interrogated until we come up with a final law which is acceptable to all. And all, there's nothing we are leaving on table. We have gone through everything up to here, and as we go home, there's nothing awaiting us.
Kakamega County receives a substantial amount of allocation
Yes.
from the National Treasury. How satisfied are you that the money is being appropriated and utilized as it should?
If you look at the over 150 reports that we have passed, most of them are actually involving county revenue. We are doing our oversight work so that where money has been allocated, we ensure that it's used properly up to the very, very last cent. And where there is any misappropriation, we'll have to point it out and ensure that it is channeled through the right process. So we have done that, and so far everything is well. But I would like to correct you. The amount being received by Kakamega is not, it's very little. We are supposed to ensure that we have enough money so that we can maintain our roads, our hospitals, our ECDs, our polytechnics, so that they are well taken care of. What is currently being given cannot meet the people, the 2 million people of Kakamega. And we are requesting that in the coming years, let us have an increase from the allocation. The current amount of 400 billion to all the counties is a drop in the ocean. You can imagine 400 billion out of the national budget of 3 trillion. Only 400 billion comes to the counties. That's a drop in the ocean. And yet most of the work is being done at the counties. So we need that money to be devolved from the national government, so that most of it comes to the county governments, so that our counties, who are actually the people in touch with the mwananchi on a day-to-day basis, are able to have that felt on the wananchi, so that the wananchi are able to make use of that revenue that is generated by themselves, so that it's applied to them on their roads, on their box culverts, on their schools, and their ECDs, their hospitals, their markets, and all that. So we need more money. What we have is currently not enough.
Yeah, enough or not, little or a lot, I think it is relative. And the fact that you're saying that you're satisfied, how satisfied are you? Because now you're saying most of the time, if at all the allocated amount is channeled for a particular project and it is not done, then as a county and as oversight, you'll come in and ensure that it is put in good use. How satisfied are you? I mean, let's say, let's give it like 1 to 10, 10 being the highest.
In terms of allocation,
How effective the funds have been used.
yeah, the funds have been used quite effectively. As you said, we have had various organs. We are not only the primary overseer of the executive. We also have the Senate, which also oversees the executive, and even us as the assembly. We also have the controller of budget, who oversees the money allocated to the counties. We also have the auditor general, who routinely checks the books of our books and confirms that they are in order. So this has been done, and all the reports have been, all these bodies have been giving us a clean bill of health in most of the matters. And where there are issues raised, we have been following it up to ensure that if there is anything that needs to be corrected, it is corrected as per the law, and ensure that there is no single money lost that is meant to be used by mwananchi.
And now, other than EACC and other oversight bodies, you as a county assembly, you're one of them. You personally, as a county assembly, what are the measures that you've put in place to curb that misappropriation of funds?
One is we have done the following. Routinely, we do oversight. Once we have first we allocate the amount that is supposed to be used and ensure that each money is allocated on a particular vote head. And where it was not well allocated, we correct it. We have to correct it either through the budget making process, so that we ensure that the amount is allocated equitably. Whatever has come is allocated equitably, and in all the sub-counties and all the wards of Kakamega. Secondly, it's actually allocated in all areas, so that no area is left out. Like if you have health, it has to have its share. If you have water, environment, education, each area at least is allocated what it deserves. Then it does not end there. Once it has been allocated, we follow up through our monitoring and implementation committee to confirm that the money that is allocated is actually being used for the purpose which it was allocated. And they do that, and they give us reports. They report back to me here to confirm that what we passed is actually what is happening. And you see, through this, we've been able to do quite a lot. You remember when we came in, we had some of those projects which had been stalled, but right now you'll find them that none of the projects had stalled is still stalled. At least they are development, and we have also new projects that have come up that are also now being taken to the letter. Those that have stalled, through our oversight, we have oversight. We send committees on the ground and confirm such and such a project is supposed to be happening. Is it going on? If it's not going on, we'll call the CEC in charge to come and tell us why this particular process is not going on. And that after we call them here, they are able to take up their matter, and if something had stalled, it's able to move to the next level. Some of them will stall because maybe the funds that was given was not enough. That one you have to understand, because as you have said, what is being given at the counties, not only Kakamega, but all over, is a drop in the ocean. We need more resources so that we're able to do a robust work on the ground.
I know you have overseen I think 3 budgets as at now. Do you have scenarios or incidents where probably a county assembly rejected the budget, or probably proposed the amendments of the budgets that were brought by the executive?
Very, very many instances. When the budget is brought,
maybe specific. What was this that probably was brought up, and the county assembly felt that this was not sitting right, and we needed to amend or reject it completely?
Several things actually keep coming up. And you find that we may not reject it completely because it is a function. It is something which has already been, it's already supposed to be, it's already a function which is supposed to be done. And mwananchi is going to benefit from it. So you'll find that such a thing will come and we interrogate it. And you find that maybe we have allocated this amount of money, but it's we feel that this amount should have been allocated to a different project. We actually reduce that amount and ensure that another issue is actually given. There are some things that were completely.
Do you have like any specific thing that's probably there's this allocation that was put on this road, or maybe a project that was coming up, and we as a county assembly we thought we should focus on this and not this? How, I mean, like, do you have any specific projects that you felt that you needed to do the amendments in terms of the budgets?
Yes. Even currently, as we are speaking, we have done several amendments to the budget that was brought by the executive, and we found that things were not several things had to be amended, so that if you look at our report, it's very big, and that report contains amendments that don't allocate this amount here, allocate it to this. It's a whole lot of things.
By any specific
But something
project?
that was completely rejected, following your earlier question, was we had a project which was brought here for the cable. We wanted to have car cable which will be running over across Kakamega forest. It's a progressive thing, but when we looked at the cost, we found it was so big that we could not use it with the amount that is available. So that one was completely scrapped. There are things that we have.
How much was this costing again?
It was costing about 500 million. So we found that that amount is too big. Let it be used on other things. But it's a good project. If we had enough money, it would be a good thing so that we are able to see Kakamega forest from above. So that and it will attract tourism, which would be a good thing. But now we looked at it and say, can we have it in this current state of affairs? We said, no, let us allocate this money on other issues like health and child education.
So it
There
was
also.
It was on 2025, 2026 budget?
No, that was in 2022, 2023.
Oh, okay.
There was also the issue of the speaker's residence. My own residence, we were supposed to have a residence, the speaker's residence. However, we said let it be shelved. Let us apply that money on roads, and that's what we did. So you can see even the speaker can deny himself a house which is duly to him because we need to have it on roads.
So how much was that costing?
It was supposed to cost 35 million. We had the issue of governor's residence. That's another example. You see,
Which was allocated a lot of money.
yes, that has also been shelved. So it's an ongoing thing.
So it is not like the way it's being said that actually there was allocation of money and we don't have a governor's resident. It was actually shelved and transferred money to something else.
To something else. So that something else was the money was via to something else. So that's what we do, and so there are a lot of examples that if we start going through one by one, you will not leave this place until it's
that's fine. I would really want to know, because now, especially for the governor's residents, people have been saying the money was misappropriated, and I like the fact that as a speaker you're saying that actually it was put on some use or something.
Correct.
Some project.
Yes.
Oh, okay. A lot of people have actually been saying that most of the projects in the county have been politicized. Most other regions, especially those, for example, MCA is not supporting the county boards, it will not get these projects and all that. And one of the things that actually came out was the the bursary fund, and then we had the 10 kilometers road during the previous regime. What is happening currently? Were they, money is also moved to some other thing, or do we really have bursaries at the county, at the ward level?
The issue of bursary has been a bit challenging, not only to Kakamega, but to the whole nation, all the counties. And the origin is this. It is, if you look at the constitution, the fourth schedule, it says that education of secondary and university is not a function of the counties, but it is a function of the national government. And therefore, it was argued that there are no bursaries should be allocated to the counties. The county should not allocate any of its money to bursaries to affect secondary school children or our university students. But now the question that was put, especially by our council of governors, was we have a person who is a national government person. For example, can you say, Violet, are you under county government or the national government? Wewe ni wa county ama wewe ni wa national?
Ni wa wote.
Yes, ni wa wote, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. So we said, even if that schedule says so, these are our children. Mm-hmm. These are our students. We need to ensure that they learn. They're able to learn and go through the processes so that they are also good citizens, that they can take up leadership positions like us here. That matter has been, it went up to court, it was mediated, and we are happy to say that it has been resolved. So currently, we have been given a green light to allocate some amount of money towards the bursaries. And that's a good thing, because we shall now be able to deal with the bursaries that has been. So what we've been hearing is a lot of misinformation, because we could not allocate bursaries when the control of budget had said you can't allocate. But the national government have said you cannot give you money which is allocated for bursaries. This money has to be stopped and via something else. So we could not do that until after we have that agreement, that mutual agreement, and whereby we are given a green light to give some amount on bursaries. That's why we are happy that with that now we'll be able to give our bursaries. And then once bursaries have been given, they'll be allocated equally to all the wards.
So now that you've been allowed to give bursaries, how much are we talking about? Because you said just some amount.
Yes.
So how much have you been allowed by the control of budget?
Of course, he has not specified, but us, we are going to sit and decide the amount, what we have on the resources that we have. We'll decide and say this amount will go towards bursaries, and it will have to come here at the assembly. Yeah. We'll have to look at it and agree, either amend by either reducing or upgrading it, depending on how it will be. That's now our work. So we are going to we'll wait for it to come from the executive. We'll look at it and we'll allocate. Now, once we allocate equally to all the wards.
The wards.
Yes, we don't say that this is a small ward, so it will be given a little amount and this one will be given more. No, but of course, ours is not as big as the CDFs, because those ones they have high amount than what we have. But the little that we'll have will ensure that it's also distributed equally to all the 12 sub-counties.
Now that you're saying that you oversight and you ensure that actually there is no biasness on projects, do you feel there's biasness on who are you supporting, who did you vote, and all that?
No, there's no bias. What we have is that when we come here as members, all members are equal. There's no member who is more superior than the other. There's no ward which is bigger or more superior to another. So whatever comes here for allocation, we allocate equally on all the 60 wards.
Okay.
And if we hear that we are giving 10 kilometers for roads, we'll give 10 kilometers for each road. And it will be, we'll look at that and ensure that there's a similar amount for all the wards. It has to be passed through the budget, and we'll do that. If in case there will be any discrepancies, we'll always come in and ensure that such discrepancies have been corrected. But so far, none. Whatever comes here is passed equitably to all the 60 wards that are here.
Okay. What is your message to critics who have actually been referring to county assembly as an extension of the executive?
No, we do not. We are not an extension of the executive. As I've said, people will want to hear us make noise, do acts of intimidation. That's not mature leadership. We are a mature assembly. We believe in strong institutions. We believe in democracy. Once we get those, we'll have the county running, because this is one government. Because the county government of Kakamega, if you look at Article 179 of the Constitution, says we shall have one county government constituting of the assembly, number one, then the executive. So this is one government. It has to work together. If you start fighting for whatever reason, just to make noise and so that you are heard in the media, you lose it. You'll never have development in that region. And I think you have examples where you have had assemblies fighting the executive, don't have any progress there. But where they are working together with mutual respect and each is doing its function, where accountability is demanded, is required, we demand it. We are very okay. So we don't even rubber stamp. As you said, as I've said, all the documents that come here, they have to be thoroughly checked, and most of them, some will come and we mutilate it completely, so that whatever will be going back to the executive, you find it's not what actually came, but has been changed. And that's our work.
Okay.
That's why we do all these interrogations and public participation, so that we ensure that we only have the best coming out of this process. Yes.
I think for the county assembly to be able to carry out its mandate, obviously its role, it's very important for them to be equipped and trained. So do you feel like the county assembly in general, including all the staff and the MCAs, are equipped and trained to be able to do this?
That's a very good question. Once an MCA, when we came in office, this is what we did. We come from various backgrounds. So what we did and have continued doing is that we started by an induction program. Now, in the induction program, we got facilitators to take us through the processes of legislation, the processes of representation, the processes of oversight. Now, after that, we established committees. Then we again went back and trained each committee on its mandate, so that we thoroughly equip our members on their roles. We went and took another chance to go through our standing orders, whereby our members were taken through the standing orders from the first standing order to the last standing order. Why were you doing that? So that we equip our members to be able to deal with the current work that was before them. And we didn't stop there. We have been doing that continuously. At least every year, we'll take at least 2 to 3 or even 4 times, whereby we feel that an issue is not well caught by our people. We'll go and retrain them so that we ensure that they are thoroughly equipped to do their mandate. And I'm happy to announce to you that all members of the Kakamega County Assembly, they know their role and they have been doing it very well. They know their role in representation. They have been doing it very perfect. And our committees have been robust. We've been able to interrogate the executive on various aspects. As I was telling that we have over 150 reports. What are those reports from? What are they about? They're about our interrogation on the work that we are supposed to be doing. They are about oversight on the ongoing projects all over the counties. They are about vetting of the members who have been appointed to take up roles at the executive. So we do that because these members have been thoroughly equipped, they are trained, and I'm happy to announce that this is one of the best assemblies that we have in the country.
Now, when you talked about being equipped and trained, and I felt like it's then they need to be probably. We've had a number of audit queries that have been raised for Kakamega County, and you talked about some of the oversight bodies like ESCC and all that. Yes. So we had audit queries that were raised. Do we have committees, respective committees of the county assembly that have summoned maybe the executive, the CECs to be able to explain about which particular queries?
Yes. When we have when the auditor comes and the auditor general comes and does her work, she gives a report. Once that report is out, we get hold of it. It comes on my desk, and I review it. I find that the auditor has questioned A, B, and C. Then we say, that's fine. I immediately allocate that report to Public Accounts Committee or the Public Investments Committee, depending on the jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. If it's according to our standing orders, there are some reports which are supposed to go to PAC and other reports which are supposed to go to PIC. So I'll give out, will submit that report to the relevant committee. Once that is done, our chairmen are so effective. The chairman of PAC, chairman of PIC, they are up to their task. They'll pick it up, they ensure that they convene the meetings of their committees, and they go through that report. They look at my recommendations, and they establish a day when to come and call someone the CEC concern. For example, if it's something about health or water or Buhungu Stadium, they'll summon that CEC and they look at it. Once they go through it, they'll summon and say, the auditor has said A, B, C, D. And he has recommended you do A, B, C, D. Have you done it? He'll say yes, or it's work in progress, or I've not done it. If you have not done it, why? If it's work in progress, then can you give us the timelines? So you'll find that most of the time, by the time the auditor comes in the next session, that audit issue has been well taken care of. And if there was something that needs rectification, it has been rectified. If something that was not being done has been done, so that we don't have that query anymore. The only persistent queries that we have, and which are historical, are human resource related issues. The issue of 1/3, you find it's a bit tricky. It has kept on recurring because we found most of our people had been employed from this particular region. So to get 1/3 has been tricky, but we are happy that we are working towards it. The executive is working towards it. Us as also the assembly is working towards it, whereby we are ensuring that we try to reach that a third level so that we are able to balance in both ways.
One of the things also that was raised was the bloated wage bill in Kakamega, and it's actually beyond the required percentage. It's actually almost by 10%. That is, as a county government, I don't know how you'll come in and be able to ensure that that is done, but also county assembly itself. In the year 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, it actually, during that time, during your tenure, there was a high spending, travel allowances and hospitality that was spent, and foreign and local trips without outcome reports, weak oversight despite repeated audit flags on the executive. And this is actually one of the things that you're saying you entirely, you as as an office and as a county, you county assembly, you're hell bent on ensuring that this is actually done oversight. So what is your comment on this?
On the issue of the wage bill, it's an inevitable issue because one, you'll find that whatever, it's the issue of the allocation. If you're able to increase that allocation to a reasonable amount, automatically that will go away. But you see, these people are, we have employed people here. They are all within the ceilings. Institutions have come and confirmed that the number of people employed are actually engaged on the work they are supposed to do. Nobody's excess. Nobody is having is loitering around. Everyone is gainfully engaged wherever he is. Everyone is getting the salary scale that he's supposed to get. However, because you have given us, the money you give is only for salaries, you see, we'll automatically go over that particular ceiling. But if we get more money, it means now that amount will be able to be available for other issues. So the issue of the payroll, we are not overpaying our employees. None of them is being overpaid. And we cannot underpay them. Are you getting it? So the percentage will have to be there. We have not overemployed. That's not a query. It's just that somehow the mathematics have refused. And they are saying we are getting it at a particular percentage and not what we require. But you see, simple mathematics, increase that amount. If we are getting, for example, 50 million on salaries, and you have given us 90, what do? We only have 50, and 90, it becomes 65% of the amount you have given us. But you see, I've always been crying and saying that 90 is not enough. Give us 150. Then automatically, the 50 will be 30% or below the 35% that is required. But if the amount has been underfunded, that's why we have that query repeating. Because if you look at it, there's nothing criminal in it.
No, but we have laws. We have laws that actually we need to spend this particular, not beyond this particular amount on current, recurrent, not this on salaries and all that, and this amount on development. So when you find some counties actually spending zero on development, some 20%, which is below the required percentage. So then what would you still say it's because we are getting so little and we want to be added more from the treasury?
You've not got to my answer. This is a question I've said, and the SRC says a particular employee should be given this amount. A certain cadre should be given this amount. So if you calculate that amount, you get the total payroll is 50 million. Nobody has been underpaid, nobody has been overpaid. You get 50 million. But what is the allocation? You bring 60. What are you telling us? Only 10 will remain for other purposes. So it's not the problem of those counties. It's an institutional problem.
Okay.
Because they're not saying that we gave you this money and you spend it on, or you have overpaid your employees, or there's wastage in payroll. No, there's no wastage in payroll. It's just that the particular payroll, which is correct, which is there's no fault in the payroll itself, but however the percentage of what is being given finds that now it's bigger than what actually it's supposed to be. So that's an institutional problem. It cannot it can only be corrected by further deliberations in the national government.
Okay. So then why are health facilities poorly equipped despite heavy spending? Because you realize education and health, actually they're given the biggest chunk. So why is it like Kakamega County health facilities are poorly equipped? And saying this because we've done spot check around,
Yes.
and we have an issue.
Yeah, the issue of health it's a big problem, and it involves. We have done several oversights on that issue. You'll find that we'll just come back to the same problem. We're supposed to have a health facility. An amount is allocated. That amount is not being misused. That amount goes back to that particular institutions. We have FIF, which is one of the laws that we passed here, so that the money that comes from that institution, from that health center, is used back to that particular center. But you see, the issue of underfunding we go back to that. There was this issue of leasing of equipment by the national government to the county government. It was there in the first house. That was up to the second house. Then there were changes along the line whereby they are saying now the counties have to take care of everything. But where is that money? Do you have a concomitant amount of money being given to deal with that issue? You find whatever is being given is little. Goes back actually to the institution. It's an institutional issue. We are not able to. You will find that the counties are trying their best. That's where we have the biggest terms of salaries. We are supposed to pay the doctors, the nurses. We are supposed to pay those equipment. Supposed to purchase the equipment, and so on. But you see, if we had good funding, we'll be able to clear that problem. Because you'll find that if you look at the budget, whatever is being given to the counties is not commensurate to the work that is being done by them. And therefore, you'll find that issue will always keep coming up. But if we have the funding issue solved, we'll be able to have very robust hospitals, and from the health centers from level 2 up to level 4 and level 5.
Now that you're talking about it, I'm also interested to know, why do you think, from where you sit, where do you think the pending bills continue growing instead of reducing? And this is, we get monies from the county, from the treasury. We also get our own source revenue. Why do you think the pending bills continue growing every single year?
First is one, the when you do the budget, you find that so they are normally estimates, and you find that we estimate that, for example, we shall have 2.2 billion collected over the years. For example, this year we say we shall have 2.2 billion, but when you come to the actual collection, you don't realize that particular amount. Automatically, that's a pending bill for the next year. Secondly, just what you have said, we have institutions that have to keep have to run. But now, when we run, this amount we are supposed to have a particular amount spent on a particular subject or issue. But what happens? You find that you are not getting that. That amount is not being allocated. Then a pending bill comes up. The issue of salaries you have said. We have the examples give you, maybe instead of 35%, you have your wage bill is actually 60%. You know, it is eating into something else. If it was at 35, you'd be able now to have every other things being dealt with. But because it's not 35, it means it's eating into a percentage which ought to go to a particular other issues that should have been dealt with. Then you find the issue of pending bills becomes perennial. That this year you intended to have whatever your actual expenditure is over and above what you ought to have spent. So you find the counties are running into debts.
So, don't you think that corruption is one of the contributors of the pending bills you're talking about?
It could be yes and no. Uh, of course, corruption is all over, and the reason why we have these counter checks and balances to show that it is detected, and where it is detected, action is taken. However, it is not the sole cause of pending bills. We have underfunding as the major cause of pending bills in all the counties in Kenya.
What has county government done after the audit report 2022, for example?
We've done quite a lot. As we said, we are able to look at the audit reports and all the audit reports and ensure that all corrective measures that are supposed to be done are actually done. Where maybe development was not going on, we're able to come and say we want this hospital to be completed within this a particular period, because we have now allocated this amount. And so we do that through budgeting and then looking at the budget review outlook paper, so to see what we budgeted for, how much has been spent under that issue, and what is the outlook? How is it? How are we going on? Are we going on well, or we are going off the track? If we are going off the track, we say let us come back on the track so that we focus.
Yeah, you said yes and no. Then that means probably you have done your best to fight corruption here in Kakamega County. It's like at zero.
Yeah, currently it's very minimal. We cannot say it's at zero, because most of the corruption, where it happens behind the doors. Nobody is there to check. And the people who encourage the corruptions are also the giver. We have the person who is bribing, the one who is taking. When they do that, they don't tell us this is what is going on. So unless it's detected, you cannot know what is going on. But through our oversight, we are ensuring that if there is, it's very limited. And if we find out, we'll take immediate action.
So what are the challenges of the assembly?
The challenges of the assembly are one, political interference is the biggest challenge. You'll find that at the assembly, it's made out of politicians, but from different political parties. We have ODM, we have UDA, you have UDP, all those whatever. They have competing interests. So you'll find that some of those differences spill over to the assembly. That's a major challenge that we have had. The second challenge is underfunding. We are not doing all that we are supposed to do, and within the time we are supposed to do, because of limited resources. So we'll look for ways ensuring that we are able to survive within our means, particularly for that particular year, as we wait for the next year. So those are the major challenges so far that I can say with the assembly. And as you can see, the challenge is so high to the extent that look at our assembly. It's not supposed to be what we expect of an assembly. Why? There is lack of sufficient funds to construct a ultra modern chamber.
Okay.
Yes. However, we are working within our means, and very soon, when you come back here, you will find us when we have started a new chamber, which we are working through one of the laws that I've just referred to, the infrastructure funding laws, because we found that if you go through the exchequer, you will never, you will take a long time to construct an assembly and or county headquarters. But through this infrastructure funding law, we plans are at a very advanced stage to ensure that we'll be having ultra modern chambers, which is being given, which is being undertaken in conjunction with an investor, so that we are sourcing investors to come and assist us in that particular process. Yes.
So what are the lessons you've learned during your tenure?
One, that the work of a speaker is not about rhetoric. It's about action, institutional protection, and fearless defense of the public interest. Once you get those three, you are done. Otherwise, you will find several other people will come to interfere with your members. If you don't take action, there's a problem. Recently, we had my members being arrested over the issue of Ecolo money. When we looked at it, we found it was purely political. We said no, these members should be released. We demanded they be released. We came to the media and said these two members should be released because we've seen everything, it's just trumped up charges. And they were released.
Okay.
The other day, one of my members was assaulted by an MP. We took up the issue and said, no, this cannot be allowed because you are interfering with the integrity of the assembly. We had to follow up until that member of parliament was arrested and arraigned in court. The case is ongoing.
So you list one member in the county assembly. Ndakwa was elected as an MP in
Yes.
Malava.
Yes.
He was an MCA here, West Kabras. What is the state right now? Are we having a by-election?
Yes, in fact, we take this chance to congratulate Honorable David Ndakwa on his election as a Member of Parliament of Malava constituency. That's an example to show that our MCAs here are men of integrity and great capabilities. Ndakwa ensured that he floored various big names in this country, and he emerged as as the leader actually in that election. That was no mean feat, and it shows that we have our people, our members here are members of integrity, and they have the mettle to be able to take up bigger challenges. So congratulations to Honorable Ndakwa on his appointment, and I know he's going to deliver very well at the National Parliament. And we have also quite other members here who are able to be members of Parliament, and they can make it very well there. And no many will be coming as we progress. So currently, the seat has been declared vacant, and we are expecting a by-election somewhere in February. After that, we shall be fully constituted.
Looking forward, what is this legacy that you want to leave behind as a county assembly speaker in Kakamega?
Yes, one, I will want to leave this county assembly a better place than I found it. I want it to be an assembly, a legacy that says this was the speaker who protected his members against political interference, so that we do not have interference in our work. This is a speaker who did great oversights at the executive, and he took his oversight mandate responsibly, and did everything that is supposed to be done. This is a speaker where we had a robust public participation in all the matters that came before the House. And this is a speaker who has had the highest number of bills and reports and motions that were passed as compared to the previous houses. Yes.
Naomba uangalie kwa hii kamera, ongea na Wakenya wakati huu wa msimu wa Krismasi. What is your message to them and the Kakamega residents at large?
My message to the people of Kenya and the citizens of Kakamega is that I wish you a happy festive season, including a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Be diligent at this time, take care, ensure that you are not caught in the rigors of the festivities. When you are driving on the road, please drive carefully so that you ensure you don't cause accidents, and celebrate responsibly. Don't overdo it, because January is waiting for us. If you spend all your money in the Christmas festivals, sauri yako. January, the teacher is waiting for you. The head teacher is waiting for you. He wants that child to go back to school. So ensure that when you spend, please spend a little and save a little.
Thank you so much. So that is Kakamega County Assembly Speaker James Namatsi talking to us. Basically, what has happened, that transpired between the 3 years that he's been in office, and other things that they have done as assembly, bills that they have passed, some of the reports they've come up with, and the queries that have been raised, but of course, how they are dealing with the queries that have been brought forward. I've been your host, Violet Auma, and next time, I guess we will invite you next time on our show to be able to deliberate on many, many other things that you've come up with as the county assembly.
Yes, because there's quite a lot. As you can see, we are constrained of time. We'll have gone on and on.
A lot. I know. We'll have another part B of this interview.
Yes, we'll be able to deliberate more and share more,
Yes,
so that our people can know what is happening at the assembly.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. I've been your host, Violet Auma. Kwaherini kwa sasa.